Fair use act, nigga.
There is nothing wrong with your television set.
Take the children and yourself and hide out in the cellar. By now the fighting will be close at hand.
Do not attempt to adjust the picture. We are controlling transmission.
Don't believe the church and state and everything they tell you. Believe in me, I'm with the high command.
If we wish to make it louder, we will bring up the volume.
Never had a doubt in the beginning, never a doubt. Trusted you true. Better you should pray to God, the Father and the Spirit will guide you and protect you from up here.
If we wish to make it softer, we will tune it to a whisper.
You made me promises, promises, knowing I'd believe. Swore allegiance to the flag, whatever flag they offer. Never hint at what you really feel.
We will control the horizontal. We will control the vertical.
Second time around, I'm still believing the words that you said. Teach the children quietly, for someday sons and daughters will rise up and fight while we stood still.
We can roll the image, make it flutter. We can change the focus to a soft blur, or sharpen it to crystal clarity.
Why do I believe?
For the next hour, sit quietly and we will control all that you see and hear.
Why do I believe all of your promises? Knew you'd never keep. Why do I believe?
We repeat, there is nothing wrong with your television set. You are about to participate in a great adventure.
Then, something that was supposed to be stripped from the big beautiful bill has now surprisingly returned. But before we go ahead and get into any of that, let's go ahead and talk about this doozy. This was published by Variety yesterday. Other news agencies are talking about this, but the United Kingdom declines to publicly release the data of how many people passed away from the C-19 jab. But why? I thought the jab was safe and FDA approved. Why won't you release the data? The article continues to say the facts. The United Kingdom Health Security Agency has declined to publish data mapping the C-19 jab doses to how many people passed away, citing several concerns, including that releasing the information could cause public distress or anger among bereaved relatives. That's interesting. What does that sound like to you? That really sets off a lot of red flags that a lot of people passed away from this as opposed to a few. The article goes on to say that according to a cross-party group of MPs and peers who called for its release on an anonymized basis, the data has been provided to pharmaceutical companies. Campaign group Us For Them sought the anonymized data for 2 years through Freedom of Information laws, but the Information Commissioner ultimately upheld UKHSA's decision not to release it. And that's the thing, even when it comes to FOIA requests here in the States, they can fail, and if they do, you do not get your money back. But this is still useful to show that they are indeed hiding something, and they are. The UKHSA argued that publishing the data could lead to misinformation and have an adverse impact on jab uptake, while also citing privacy concerns, saying there was a risk of identifying individuals. Why does this sound awfully familiar to the files, releasing the files? They said they don't want to do so because it may jeopardize identifying victims. We don't want to go ahead and release jab data because it'll identify individuals. They are such sick and evil, twisted people. I cannot believe they're using the old Jeffrey playbook as to why they're not releasing the jab to pass away ratio. I mean, they should have just said, we're not releasing the data because of swamp gas, weather balloons, and glitches. Other news articles are saying that if this data gets out, it will jeopardize the well-being and mental health of the families and friends of those who passed. Oh, these people, it's so bad. It's so bad they would go with that excuse. A part of me also feels that they're not releasing this data because the so-called powers that be have another big event planned for the future where once again they're going to want people to get jabbed, and releasing this data could compromise that. And that might not be too far off. Reading from another article, it says this group again requested this information, but the government health body argued that publishing the data could lead to misinformation that would have an adverse impact on jab uptake by the public. Them being secretive about it just makes it look even worse because in my mind, if they have to hide it, it must be really bad. I'm talking about possibly millions. I wouldn't doubt it whatsoever. And for some companies, it's always been in the name.
Was quite interesting. So, in Latin, AstraZeneca. You ready?
And does
pick up and carry the cross, you no longer share my thoughts, now that there's an over yet. For that loud voice getting quiet now.
Just to be clear, YouTube censors, these are the words of an ex-Pfizer executive who says there was no pandemic at all. Dr. Michael Yaden. Now, he says there's no pandemic, and the lie was maintained in order to inject 5.5 billion people with what he says was an intentionally dangerous substance, 17 million of whom have died so far, he says, after having received it. Watch.
There has not been a pandemic. Dennis Rancourt's data shows that the all-cause mortality evidence data did not increase at all in the run-up to the declaration, fraudulently, by WHO of a pandemic. There is no public health emergency except that created by our governments. An inappropriate, fraudulent PCR test was used to give people the impression that they had a particular disease where they didn't. There were all the normal diseases. And then what happened was, in 3 different ways, people were treated badly through changed medical procedures that were imposed above the level of nation, briefly, mass ventilation of people inappropriately in hospitals that led to lots of deaths. In care homes, many people were given sedatives and respiratory depressants, which led to their deaths. My PhD was specifically in that area of opiates and respiratory depression. And in the community, people were denied life-saving antibiotics and died of bacterial pneumonia. There's your pandemic. There is no other pandemic. And based on this, we were told that vaccines were coming our way and would be our savior. 2 things. As I say, first, there's no pandemic, so you certainly don't need an experimental, rushed medical intervention. But secondly, even if you did, as someone who's worked in the industry for over 30 years, I am telling you, it's absolutely impossible to invent, test, clinically evaluate, and manufacture and then launch on global scale a complex biomedical product. It's absolutely impossible. It's not as close. It's years wrong. The fastest record prior to this was 6 years. And friends of mine who've worked all their lives in manufacturing of complex biological products tell me the methods development alone for the development of a reproducible manufacturing process itself takes a number of years. So whatever it is you think was done, I am telling you, there was not the development of a proper medical product. What I think happened was the advancement of materials that are intentionally toxic, and then they were sketchily advanced and jammed into people's arms, often coerced, sometimes even mandated, with the unsurprising effect that millions of people have died. So I think having heard what I've just said, that there was no pandemic and the lie was maintained in order to inject people en masse, I think 5.5 billion people with an intentionally dangerous substance, 17 million of whom have died so far.
Now, of course, Yaden in many quarters is a hero, speaking out about this for years. But now we have all of the sort of cumulative data to look back on this. And he's vindicated on this. Of course, he was vilified. Yaden was early in warning about these shots. And the mainstream media like Reuters at the time, which of course has direct ties to British intelligence, was slamming the doctor, calling him basically a kook for warning people. It was a coordinated effort in 2021, of course, to discredit Dr. Yaden with all kinds of fact-checking websites jumping on to say how great the COVID shots were, how dangerous Dr. Yaden's claims were. Here's just one example. This fact check debunked claims by an ex-Pfizer employee about COVID-19. They just call him an employee. Talk about him being an executive, like a scientist. He's just an employee. He's just some guy in the mailroom. And one of the things he talks about the children claim, they go through like a number of claims he's made. Claim number 4, COVID-19 is not a threat or fatal to anyone below the age of 60. Okay. Like many before him, Yaden has also suggested that the risk of COVID-19 is overplayed because it primarily affects older people. But this claim is false, according to the fact checkers. COVID-19 is a risk to people of all ages, and the virus has killed young people. Really?
Well, actually, statistical data has proven him right, that people under 30 only died with COVID due to pre-existing conditions by and large. It's the numbers are overwhelming, and we've presented those studies.
Vaccines, whether you ask for it or not. This nurse, she's a whistleblower. That means she's about to lose her job and probably end up in jail because, that's what whistleblowers go nowadays. Anyway, she reveals that they will inject you when you're under anesthesia. If you go to a hospital and get an operation, they're going to inject your ass with the vaccines, whether you ask for it or not.
When you go to the hospital, if you need surgery, you need a knee replacement surgery, first they're going to ask you if you've had the vaccine. You're going to say no. Then they're going to say, well, you need to sign this consent. If you're going to have vaccine, if you're going to have surgery, you need to sign a consent. In the consent, there's a word called biogenics. You sign the consent saying, I consent for you to give me biogenics. That basically means they can give you anything that they deem necessary, including vaccines. So,
if I need an operation, I'm staying awake
with my hand on my pistol.
If I see somebody injecting anything, 2 of us gonna die that day. Because you injected me with a death shot anyway. Hey, you don't believe me? Look at the numbers of the vaccinated that have died and continue to die and get sick and twist up and shit. And yeah.
The Illuminati's in effect. See, the Illuminati ain't nothing but like it's gonna be a second Great Depression out here in America. Except this time, corporate America's prepared themselves for it. Meaning when it hits, their money is gonna be safe. As far as the rest of us that don't own our own businesses and things of that nature, so bad, we're gonna be killing each other in the streets, man. Mad Max and Beyond Terror Dome and all that is gonna be on, man. And they're gonna have to blow us up, which is what they're gonna do. They're gonna inject us with these, they're gonna say it's like for everybody mandatory AIDS testing because AIDS is so widespread. They're gonna be giving them vaccines for it so they don't catch it off top like measles, mumps and stuff like that. But in all actuality, what they're doing is putting microchips in and your babies, so they can keep tabs on where you're at. They're not even using money anymore as far as paper. It's going to be cards to show what status you are, how financially well off you are, or whatever. What do you own, and it'll tell everything about you. Funds for schooling, gone. Everything is they just throwing it all back. They're building, what they're trying to do now is just build their fortress for the bigger war, because they know too that we're in the last times and days.
This is graphene nanofilaments. Okay, they're going to put graphene nanofilaments in the water because an electric current can pass through them, creating a large electric field which ionizes the water molecules and thus controls the water transport through the graphene capillaries. Say right here at the start, get ready for smart water, graphene oxide in the water supply for quality control. Yeah, Sure it is. Yeah? Quoting Klaus Schwab right at the top here. As Klaus Schwab promised, the Great Reset, Fourth Industrial Revolution, a tsunami of digitalization, digital water. If it goes in us, graphene smart membranes can control water. Yeah, it's actually in the water. There's nanofilaments. Yeah. So, we've got to start fighting back against this attack by grapheno. I'm putting an urgent message out this morning. I've been tossing and turning all night. That's it. No more water from the taps for anyone. If you want to fight the transhumanist cyborg agenda, then you need to stop drinking tap water right now, because this is probably already ahead of itself in other countries. They're probably already doing it. And there's the statement of faith. This is their statement of faith right on top of their website here. The water supplies have been taken over by the globalists, by the crazy people, as Klaus Schwab promised. Our dear leader. The Great Reset, Fourth Industrial Revolution, is a tsunami. We don't want any more tsunamis. We don't want any tsunamis of digitalization. Yeah. Oh. They worship him. Okay, so we don't want to do. Let's have a reality check here. The government can control the water. They can turn the water on and off. They can stop it flowing because they ionize and electrify the graphene with 5G. So do you want to drink government water from now on? Do you want to drink graphene water that the government can control inside your stomach? We are what, 70% water or something? Graphene oxide is highly toxic, apart from the fact that they control the water in your stomach, turn you into a tumble dryer, washing machine or something, start spinning the water around inside. I mean, I don't know. It's crazy. Okay, globalists have taken over. This is the problem. That's the problem. And they control companies, they control the startups, they control the new graphene oxide revolution that we've stumbled across thanks to La Quinta Columa, really, and Celeste Solum. So, that's it. I haven't been drinking tap water for years. Yeah, but now is the time. If you're a Christian, you know graphene. The icon for graphene is 666. Did you miss it, by the way? I hope not. It's there for us. Remember, God makes them put it in plain sight for us, so we never miss the evil. We never miss what's going on. How do we know the Pirbright Institute patent is the patent for this bioweapon attack on the world? Because we've got 666 right in front of us here. The graphene icon, the hexagon, and there's 3 of them. One there, and one above the eye. 666. And just to confirm it, yeah, they can't help it, can they? It's there right for us. Preventing and controlling viral diseases. No. As always, in this Orwellian state we live in, this Orwellian nightmare, everything is the opposite to the truth. So preventing and controlling viral diseases is creating and selling the cures for viral diseases. Yeah. So that's it, guys. Yeah, no more water from the taps, please. If you want to fight the transhumanist cyborg agenda and you want to fight the globalists, don't drink their water.
Anybody remember this? This video comes from Tea with Pravi, and what's crazy is that she made this video yesterday, one day before this news came out.
I remember when they were offering burger meals, concert tickets, Krispy Kreme donuts, even lottery cash prizes for you to get a jab. They were like, the country literally said you could get a shot and a snack. Okay, they were like, you can get this whole 5G upgrade and a whole meal. Can you imagine? That was my first red flag. I was really side-eyeing it, like, why do y'all have to market the meds? Like, if it's for the betterment of your overall health, like, why aren't people running to get it? Because really, we didn't know what was going in our bodies. And they were really out here just like, yeah, you can get a burger, a drink, and fries. You can even supersize it. We might even give you 2 meals. And people were going crazy like it was a Popeye chicken sandwich. And then shortly thereafter, they had the monkeypox, and they were like, oh my gosh, look at people's skin. It had people terrified. All of a sudden, they were like, yeah, go to this drive-thru and you could get another jab. And then shortly thereafter, everything just disappeared, and you never really heard about it again. Now, this is all for entertainment purposes. I can't confirm or deny any of this. I'm just making jokes. But isn't that just interesting? They really were out here like, yeah, you can get a whole meal. You can get some donuts. You can get lottery tickets. Marketing the meds. A wild time to be alive.
305 Miami. She rode them vampire tail bloodsuckers in the night. Never knew Big Pharma, I had a bigger bite. Posted on the gram, go get your shot. It righteous. April, May, she preaching by December. Lifeless. To Madonna jail, start she doing what's smart. Stroke came swift, stopped the queen of Gothic art. Revelation 18, verse 23, don't lie. Sorcery deceiving pharmakeia, that why. She told the world, get it, tell your friends go too. But fewer than 1% get reported when they through. VRs say the truth, but they bury the receipts. Now let's that crying in them New Orleans streets. They shot her up, she went down. Vampire queen in a coffin gown. Trust the sign, ignore the sign. Now her books, I live by design. I'm a Martian, she a model, and got zapped. Second shot, drop, brains go blap. I sip lean, she took files with both us fade. Difference is I wake up, she in a cascade. Vampires can't die, Madonna said bet. Now her tombstone glow like a cigarette. Rest in ink, queen, your story still bite. But the backs got fangs that don't wait for midnight. 80 years old, December 11th, complications from a stroke. That what they tellin', but we know better, we read between. Pharma took another soul off the scene. Rest in peace to Aaron Rice. Before that shot came with a price. Rest in peace to Aaron Rice. Before that shot came with a price.
Posted this video clip I had taken a couple of nights ago. This orange thing was flying over my city. It was not a drone I've ever seen before, it does not look like a plane, and it definitely wasn't a star. It was flying across the sky at a lower altitude. And so I asked people, have you seen something like this? And surprisingly, a lot of you have. And
seen over the Salton Sea on November 13th. I did an extended video of this in my last post, but it really does warrant a recap, because what's interesting is the person who recorded this, Angel O, said they were located on the southeast side of the Salton Sea. They had hovered over the water and then began teleporting. I did go to take a look at flight activity, and wouldn't you know, at the exact same time was a military Super Hercules flying in an incredibly dynamic nature. Look at the variances in height and speed. Was it just routine training of a very skilled pilot, or could there have been some engagement with the UAP? Or could the UAP be some clandestine technology? And by the way, I'm sure it's just a coincidence, but the Salton Sea was recently announced to have one of the largest supplies of a certain element. I reported recently that NASA had been flying around the Salton Sea and actually has a base there. But then my account did get banned at 300,000 followers, so anything further on this I will definitely be posting on a treasure map where X marks the spot. See you in the comments. Take care.
Today, it had come out that the state of Illinois had rolled out the digital ID.
Illinoisans will be able to add their driver's license or state ID directly to their Apple Wallet. That means that your ID now lives securely in the same place that you already tap to pay for groceries, present a boarding pass for a flight, or enter a concert.
Now, this one will not be mandatory like it is in other countries, not yet anyway. But after warning many people, not just myself, but others like people over in the United Kingdom, warning others just how bad the digital ID will be, including loss of freedoms and so forth, apparently it is so popular over in Illinois that anybody else trying to download and sign up are getting a busy message. Now, this may just be a bogus article trying to hype people up into getting the digital ID, but I don't think so. If you remember back during the jab and the C-19, just how many people had gotten the jab, even before they were threatened with the loss of their job just because it was the right thing to do. But looking this up further, it also seems like other states have digital IDs as well. Mississippi, New York, Virginia, Arkansas, Iowa, and the list goes on. When I clicked on the Mississippi digital ID, these were the first 3 reviews to pop up, all 5-star, and you can tell these are bots. Very easy and convenient, and not to mention, if you don't have any identification on you, this is a must-have app. So do yourself a favor and get it now. It will save you in the long run. This app is easy to use and very convenient. As long as you have your phone, you'll always have your ID. This is so awesome, easy to set up and very convenient. When I forgot my wallet and or ID, and that is the word, convenience, and that's how they're going to get a lot of people on board before they go ahead and make it mandatory, before they go ahead and say, well, before you can go ahead and get a job, before you can go ahead and buy, sell, before you can even go online, you need to have a digital ID. So again, what we're seeing now with all these states rolling this out is just a soft launch. But moving on, here's something interesting, and I had to make sure this was true because this is absolutely mind-blowing. Now, before the big, beautiful bill passed along and was approved, there was something in the bill that really upset a lot of people, was the fact that there would be no regulations on AI for 10 years. And so it was removed from the bill, and then the bill was passed. Well, reading this article from The Verge that was published on November 19th, other news agencies are talking about this as well. This article is titled, "Here's the Trump Executive Order That Would Ban State AI Laws." The article goes on to say that President Donald Trump is considering signing an executive order as soon as Friday that would give the federal government unilateral power over regulating artificial intelligence, including the creation of an AI litigation task force overseen by the Attorney General, whose sole responsibility shall be to challenge state AI laws. This is pretty big indeed, and I just wonder what news came out yesterday that quote-unquote coincidentally distracted people away from this news. I just wonder indeed. The article goes on to say that according to a draft of the order obtained by The Verge, the task force would be able to sue states whose laws are deemed to obstruct the growth of the AI industry, citing California's recent laws on AI safety and a catastrophic risk, and a Colorado law that prevents algorithmic discrimination. The task force will occasionally consult with a group of White House special advisors, including David Sachs, billionaire venture capitalist and the special advisor for AI and crypto. In recent days, Trump has repeatedly posted his desire to have a state AI law moratorium and reiterated it on Wednesday during his appearance at the U.S. Saudi Investment Forum, which is not surprising one bit because the Saudis have a big investment in AI in the United States. The Saudis pledged $20 billion to build data centers and partnerships with major U.S. tech firms. This includes investments from the Saudi-backed company Humane, very interesting name, which is collaborating with companies like AMD and has agreements to supply AI supercomputers from NVIDIA, which is interesting because we just had news come out that Peter the Reptile Veal removed all his investments from NVIDIA. So you have all these countries and individuals building data centers within the United States that are just wrecking the lands to the point that individuals' bills are going up, but you have them investing heavily into AI. So of course, they're not going to have any state laws or regulations interfering with that. The pushback I'm seeing when it comes to arguing against no regulations on AI is the fact that people are saying, well, we have to have no regulations in order to keep up with other countries, and that's the scam. When they're having you believe we're in some kind of AI race, when in actuality, they're all in this together, and have you worried that we have to outdo other countries when it comes to AI, they're releasing things that are making you lose your grip on reality. They're releasing things that will take people's jobs and so forth. They're releasing things to heavily scan, collect data, and monitor people, while again, at the same time, they have you convinced that we need this in order to outpace other countries. Now, of course, the state can still challenge whatever comes up, but I mean, let's see how far that goes. This is even wild that this is a thing in the first place, given the fact that, again, it was stripped from the big, beautiful bill.
Say, like, in the long term, where will things end up? Long term, I don't know what long term is. Maybe it's 10, 20 years, something like that. Currency becomes irrelevant. But AI and humanoid robots will actually eliminate poverty. And Tesla won't be the only one that makes them. I think Tesla will pioneer this, but there will be many other companies that make humanoid robots. But there is only basically one way to make everyone wealthy, and that is AI and robotics. Say like in the long term.
Some people are out there saying, well, that's great. I'd rather not have a 9 to 5. I can spend more time with my family and so forth. But think about this. If most of the AIs are already doing everything already, where are the optional jobs going to be? And if the government does give you a universal income, since you can't get a job, whose control are you going to be under? If you say or do something that they don't like, let's say you don't want to get a jab, and they know that through the digital ID, where they're just going to go ahead and cut off that income until you do get a jab. When you're collecting a paycheck from an employer, you're following that employer's rules, policy, and guidelines. Will be no different here. So as I said in the beginning of the video, people are noticing that as they watch NASA's feed, something very odd will appear that looks like a UFO, and NASA will cut off that feed, fueling the UFO alien agenda.
Absolutely. I will not do anything inside the work volume. There you go. Thanks for the heads up.
Excellent config. You're very welcome. And just to kind of smooth things over when we do come back, KU, you'll be on space to ground 3 for your ops today with Shankini.
3 with Shankini. Thanks.
They have a lot of people believing UFOs and aliens are indeed around Earth and NASA is covering it up. But, I mean, NASA is even telling people, hey, go check out our live feed, and this happens every time. I do not trust NASA one bit. They are a part of the PSYOP to keep the alien and UFO talks going until the fall stage alien invasion arrives. What we're seeing right here is just a show, and again, a part of the PSYOP. But this gets even better because yesterday, NASA releases this photo on their X account of the 3-Eye Atlas, and people, even die-hard NASA fans, are really lighting them up saying, is this really the best NASA can do? It's time to defund NASA. Why do we have NASA? Well, I'll tell you why. They are there to push agendas and money launder. They literally took a flashlight, shined it in the dark, and said, look, this is the image of 3-Eye Atlas, go away. That's literally what they did. Or they probably just took a picture of the moon during a cloudy night and said, let's just give them this, they don't know any better. That's probably what they did. It's over now. We're tired of the games, we're tired of the distractions, we're tired of the psyops, the mental gymnastics. This whole alien UFO stuff will be one of their most important final cards in the future because it'll have basically everything. Depopulation, a one world government, a one world currency, one world religion, all that. And I see it happening. In this next video, more and more people are coming to the understanding that technology is reading our minds.
You know how when you are talking about something and that something starts appearing in your feed as advertisements on social media? I get that now. I think we all kind of get that now. We probably expect that. But what happens when you start thinking about something and it shows up on your social media feed? Like you never verbalize it. And that's what happened to me. I was in my son's gaming center area and I looked at his gaming chair and I thought to myself, wow, that gaming chair is very, very beat up. That's a good Christmas gift for him. And I only thought it. I was the only one in my house. I didn't talk to anyone else. And then within 30 minutes, I sat down and started scrolling social media. And what do I find on TikTok and Instagram? Advertisements for gaming chairs. I have never had advertisements for gaming chairs showing up in my feed. And suddenly on TikTok and Instagram, there they are, gaming chairs galore. And I did buy one, which is beside the point. But how on earth does that happen? My conspiracy theory is that, and I know this sounds absolutely wild, but somebody is microchipping us. They have found a way to understand our thoughts and our brain, and they are linking it back to social media. I mean, it sounds bizarre, I know, but what logic exists other than that? Let me know.
Chaotic Concept answers this and breaks this down nicely. It's basically the Internet of Things. We are a hive mind, unfortunately, with technology.
It's called the Internet of Things. It's a database where every device that's linked to the internet or Wi-Fi can communicate within each other. Refrigerators, washing machines, microwave, Anything that has a signal that goes out to Wi-Fi is connected. The Internet of Things enables smart objects to communicate with each other and perform tasks autonomously. Applications ranging from smart homes to wearables to smart cities. So when you have a thought, open your phone and start scrolling, and all of a sudden, there's what you were thinking about. It's not just your phone, it's all the devices together to essentially read your mind. Now let me ask you this. Every memory that you've ever had growing up, are you sure it's yours?
People who have been through traumatic experiences like natural disasters, fires, or wars tend to suffer from long-term psychological issues. Now, researchers think they found a way to potentially delete bad memories and enhance good ones. Park Se-young has...
Reconstructing your memories is a very real thing. It's being developed under the grounds of PTSD victims to help them forget about traumatic experiences. Synthetic human memories. And even though right now they say they can only do it in rats and small mammals, we all know how that goes. Now, we already talked about microscopic nanotechnology, ways to get AI and robots inside the human body with things like smart dust. Even FDA-approved digital tracking devices in prescription medicine.
Researchers at MIT, Harvard Medical School, and Brigham and Women's Hospital have recently invented a technology to wirelessly power up tiny devices like this one, deep inside the human body.
Even AI-driven robots that they can inject inside of you.
Robots into a human's bloodstream sounds terrifying. But what if I told you science has developed so far that they are actually doing it on purpose? Nanobots in medicine represent a new technology that could save millions of lives. They are the size of antibodies, smaller even than our blood cells.
But the hard truth is, if you're watching this, you are already a part of a database without any of those things. You, me, pretty much everyone in this world is already a part of a thing called the Internet of Bodies.
This collection of all these devices, as well as all the data that the devices are gathering about you.
Your Apple Watches, your Fitbits, even the little rings that they use to scroll through TikTok, they're all a part of this. It's the reason why all these big tech companies want your data. They say it's to help navigate the internet and to heighten our online experiences. But I want you to pay attention to what this woman says at the end of this clip.
The Internet of Bodies, or IOB, is actually an ecosystem. It's a bunch of devices that are connected to the internet that contain software and that either collect personal health data about you or can alter the body's function.
Alter the body's function. Now, don't get me wrong, this could all have huge benefits for humankind, like controlling your iPhone with your brain, but don't forget this can go both ways. Y'all stay safe.
Cops are going to be using mind-reading technology, and Colorado is the first state to pass a law protecting the privacy of your thoughts. This comes in light of the technology now being widely available for private citizens. Is it time to dust off your tinfoil cap? We'll talk about it. But first, I want you to listen to the voice of a man who lost his ability to speak nearly a decade ago.
It makes people cry who have not heard me in a while.
While there are non-invasive devices available, this is one of those brain chips. We all remember Neuralink, but there's a bunch of other technology that's currently being developed and used. This one works by mapping your brain while you're reading, and the little voice inside of your head gets recorded as the word you were thinking of. It is so effective at doing this that people can have normal conversations now, and you could even speak to somebody telepathically if you really wanted to. The other frightening application of this is being able to stream music directly to your brain in broadband. Okay, this one really concerns me. Have you ever just put on your headphones and someone had connected to them and suddenly you're hearing half of a conversation? Well, anything that's attached to technology is hackable. Do you really want your brain being available to the internet? That's not even where it gets weird. You can buy brain mapping technology right now for about $1,000. There's also software that you can buy that gives you the ability to map and use the information that you get from your brain. You could turn it into images, you could record your dreams, you could even speak to people. I just know that it's going to become commonplace where someone suspects their boyfriend or girlfriend of cheating, so they just pop on the brain cap and read their thoughts. However, what Colorado wanted to do was to make it illegal to sell your data, kind of like a lot of platforms have done. This, however, provides no legal protection from the police.
The technology is there and has been there, and it's all about building a profile on you and control at the end of the day.
See, I won't waver like a leaf in the wind. I'm out on paper, you can see where I've been. I made mistakes and I know how to forgive. It's just gotten to the point where I won't do this again. Cause I won't compromise. Hey, I can't even comprehend. Hey, all the lies. Look, Satan, get behind me now. I ain't gon' listen when your voice seem loud. You be lying from the inside out, trying to instill some doubt, crying from the pits of hell. I don't wanna fight, but I'm struggling to please you. Trying to hold on tight, but nothing left to cling to. Squirt me an advice, one of you can make me free too. And every time I write, you hear my heart, I let it bleed through. And I'ma serve my father first, won't compromise. I always thought that you'd be with us here from start to finish. Hey, it's obvious, you see us, no part is missing. I got some struggles, I'll really be tussling. I ain't gonna sit here and cover it. I gotta expose, I need to refocus. I really need to dig in and shovel it. I pick up the ball and I fumble, I slip and I trip and I fall, I'm stumbling. I'm going through pain, all people are hurting. Everything else that would come with the anger in me. I'll be deep in my thoughts and I'm really tempted to go pull out the muscle. Look, we gon' shout it from the rooftop. Look, we gon' yell it from the east side. Look, we declare on the prison yard. Satan, get behind me now. I encourage you, dig into the word of God. Let it lift you up, let it spur you on. Hey, every day I'm praying for your heart condition. The album dropping, I can't lie, it be so hard to listen. I'm hurt inside, I feel confused. Like how you feel so overlooked when you were being used. Help me see the situations here as you have seen it. I'm tired of hanging on to things after you said to leave it. Stretch our comfort zones, better yet let's leave them. Cause we ain't never gonna grow if we just choose to keep them. Hey, this may be a shock to them when they hear about the news. But me, I saw the warning signs, I seen the cues. I should've had that talk with you and I knew it's gonna be tough. Instead I swept your actions all up underneath that rug. With that I had myself to blame, but I'm learning from it. I pray that when you see yourself, you learn to love it. Part of the struggle, yeah. I must confess, get this on my chest. I'm very strong, but I done came off the stress. I fast long, I done mind